The season end is quickly approaching as round 13 takes us to Baku. With Ferrari not already claiming the championship, will we see a new driver take the checkered flag tonight? We have so many drivers that have a chance at it tonight, so we'll see what happens. But hey, everyone, I hope you're doing well out there. We have Jordan. He's not only in the booth, but he's out on track. How you doing out there, Jordan?
I'm doing great, I guess. Just got an excuse tonight to hop into the car and head in the racetrack. I have a teammate tonight, so maybe things will go well. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're in qualifying currently. Over 16 minutes on the board, and as you guys see, we're in the castle portion. We're on board with Jacob X99. Man, I'll tell you what, this is just going to be a very, very tricky portion. I want to try to go grab somebody who is just going in here. Here we go. We're making the right-hander into the castle portion, and right up here to the left. Take a look at that as these guys try to make their way around without driving it into the wall. I don't think we'll be going too wide into that tonight, but at least hopefully we will not be. But yeah, crazy portion around here, and I think we might see some instances of drivers hitting that wall in a couple of portions of this. We'll have to keep our eye out for it.
Yeah, it's really tight quarters most of the way around the racetrack and a lot of long straights, so it's also incredibly fast. It's a very tough place to get around. It doesn't look like it if you just check out the track map. It isn't the most complicated of circuits from the initial look at the place, but getting down on the racetrack, it is incredibly tough to make a lap around here with good pace and also not hitting anything.
So very true. David, I see you out there. We are missing you tonight. Thank you so much for the sub. 72 months. It just blows my mind every month. I just appreciate it. Thank you so much. Again, we're missing you out here, thinking of you. And yeah, hopefully put on a good race for everyone. He says it should be fun and or chaotic. I think it's going to be both of those for sure. And I just got a message. Ferrari Nut says I'm on my way. So he will be joining us fashionably late. A couple of drivers making their debut in one who have not seen since the beginning of the season. None other than Kerr. A few seasons ago, we saw him just absolutely dominating the entire season, and here he is back. He was on top of the fastest laps out there in practice, so very strong showing so far for Kerr.
Yeah, we have several new drivers tonight, including Kerr making his return, his long-awaited return, his much ballyhooed return. It's good to see him back out here. Maybe he'll provide a little bit of excitement. We also have another pair of Cardwell brothers, as they have multiplied once again, and we have appeared on the racetrack for Shake and Bake.
One of those is going to be Josh X1014, and then Rattly Bacon 8220. So it's going to be exciting to see what these guys can do out there. And our first driver on the board already, that's going to be Kerr with a 139.707. Gale Force going to be next on the board with a 141.251. We'll see where these drivers end up at just over 13 seconds or 13 minutes left on the board. Quite a few drivers still out on pits, trying to get those setups in and seeing where they want to come out as. But Scarface on his outlap along with MJ Seals. And Rattly Bacon. We have a couple more drivers. And our very own in the booth, J-Mac Attack, out there on the track. Evan, I see you out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Mike, I see ya. Hello. Hope everyone's doing well. 2 drivers already on the board. 4 more drivers on their outlap. I want to see what they can do, but I'll tell you what. You're going to hear so many sighs from me tonight as far as this castle portion goes. Every time I see them go around, I have no idea how they are not hitting the walls going around here. Just absolutely blows my mind. I'm pretty sure I would die lap 1, turn 1 right there.
Yeah, it's a place where you can really, if you really commit, you can make some really good speed through there, and it feels really good. But if you get it wrong, you're probably going to watch one of your wheels fly off.
Yeah, I would say for sure. So we talked about it in practice. Not a lot of penalty places that there is out on track, but I feel like there's a lot of places where we can get severe damage. So what are the biggest places in your opinion, J-Mac?
Biggest places that you could get damage, I'd say the exit of turn 1, especially on the initial lap, is a place where you get some damage. And then turn 2 is still kind of everybody's on top of each other at the at the start of the race. That could be a place where you get some damage. And then you go to the top of the hill. We've talked about the castle already. That's a definitely difficult spot to get through. But then you get to the top of the hill after the castle. There's there's 2 or 3 kind of kink left-handers, and then a really hard left-hander. And that's a very difficult turn to judge and get correctly. So I think that's another place that we could see some guys getting the wall, getting a little damage. Maybe if there's some racing going on at that point, we can see some major contact and maybe even a safety car. That's another place to look for, I believe.
Here it is. We're watching Leaf Justin go through turn 16 around that castle portion I do believe Jordan was talking about. And yeah, a lot of swift turns in here. Some of them very, very quick, kind of flowing. But man, a couple of them are sudden, severe turns. So you really do have to be on top of it here. And we just saw another driver going through turns 1 and 2. And take a look at that as Justin just slams into the walls trying to get on pit lane. So I have a feeling that's going to be another trouble spot as we go through the track here tonight.
Yeah, pit road is not the easiest to get through, as I just dirtied my lap time. I didn't feel like I did, but hey, whatever. Anyways, yeah, pit road is pretty difficult to get through because you're going really fast, and it kind of snakes its way around, makes itself really hard to get on, especially if you're not prepared. Maybe you get some damage or something and have to make a quick change, quick decision. So yeah, that could be a place where somebody makes mistakes too. Also, there's a lot of jockeying for position on this long straightaway that happens, and every once in a while you can get that wrong, and we could see maybe some contact there.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. We'll see Jordan come in. This is exactly where Justin kind of ping-ponged off the walls there twice. So Jordan makes it through okay. And let's see. David says this track is like Monaco, except you can actually overtake here. Oh, you know what was interesting? We've had that brought up in practice. That it's kind of similar to Monaco, but they said for a different reason. Just that the difficulty of it in some of the parts. So yeah, they definitely have portions in here that you can make those passes. As Jordan said, the long straight is going to be one of them. Castle portion, I expect to not be one of them, as that is very treacherous moving through there. But man, what a fun track to see tonight. I cannot wait to see how they maneuver around here. It's just very technical, very difficult. And then you have these spots where just long straight. So I think it's going to be a really fun race. Jacob X99, and we do have a Ferrari nut that has entered the building here, so we'll see what happens. If you guys have any guesses on who will be the winner tonight, let us know. Put it out in chat. We do have a caution in Sector 3, and we'll find out. I think it's just drivers taking it slow to get those tires situated and for their outlap and whatnot, trying to get those times. We'll see, though. I mean, it is a difficult track, but I also want to see what Radley Bacon does, and Josh, 2 new drivers, and then Kerr, who we have not seen since the beginning of the season. He still sits atop of the board right here with a 139.707. Jacob X99 going to be in second with a 140.8. MJ Seals a 140.9. Leaf Justin 141.0. Gale Force 41.2, and Scarface going to lead in those 142s with Radley Bacon 143. And I gotta say, one of the other things I noticed from practice, these guys were so incredibly close with time. I mean, times were so close that it is almost like an oval where you just have little bits of increments between the drivers. And that's exactly what we saw in practice, which I found very interesting considering how technical this track can be and how many turns there are. And these drivers were still that close. Putting the pressure on Jordan, but we're going to watch him as he makes his way around the castle portion on his outlap. Turn 14, and he'll be heading out to 15 shortly. The scenery here is absolutely amazing. I don't know if I would get sidetracked looking at that as we go on by, but man, dangerous situation if you do.
It's like a real-life version of Prague from Forza, honestly.
Isn't it?
The way
Yeah.
Everything kind of looks around the old school architecture all over the racetrack. It is a really nice racetrack to look at.
I love that track.
High street course, you know. Anyway, 'cause I've always thought street courses look kind of ugly, just the way the walls and everything kind of are, but it's a pretty nice looking place.
I think so. I agree. All right, we got Ferrari Nut out here and out on track. He is on his out lap, getting ready to go to, I think, his timed lap here. So we'll see what he can do on the board. It'll be interesting to see where he compares with Kerr, as these two drivers, once upon a time, they were competitors. And man, I'll tell you what, the wins were going back and forth between the two. Kerr does not have a lot of time to get out here much. So kind of curious where he'll round out tonight. Few drivers out in pit lane getting their setups done. Gale Force out here with a 141.2, currently sits P5. We've seen him in a lot of battles between Justin, Scarface, Jacob, and several others, and it's race after race. These guys are so incredibly close, and I want to see what they do tonight. Scarface on his outlap. Most every other driver besides him in pit lane. I don't know where the time went, but we are under 5 minutes to go in qualifying. Josh out here making a lap. We'll see how he does if he decides to go on the board with the time. Jordan also, J-Mac Attack, he is out on track. Puts himself in the 6th position. Ferrari not making his way across the line. Where does he end up? He's going to go P4, a 140.9. Right under MJ Seals, who also had a 140.9. So, man, just again, these times so incredibly close considering. Jacob, how about that? A 140.8. So, again, very close, and I like to see him in P2 spot. Rattly Bacon out on his outlap. Josh, he's got a 148.3, currently sitting P10. This is going to be his debut along with Rattly Bacon. Dion, unfortunately, out of the session here. Could be the case, David. I'm kind of curious. He's going to start P4 so far. Again, I don't see a lot of penalties going to be at play tonight as far as that we've seen from other tracks. But trouble-wise, I think we're going to see a couple of cars hitting those walls. I mean, it's just so incredibly tight. These drivers really push it. Take a look at how close they get to those walls. Absolutely incredible. Making his way down the straight. He's under yellow, so I'm not sure if he will improve that time. He will not. He's going to stay P4 with a 140.9. MJ Seals on his outlap, along with Kerr, who does currently have the fastest time, 139.707. He's going to try to keep that pole position. Just under 2 minutes left on the clock. Leaf Justin going for his outlap along with 3 others. We'll see if they can improve their time. How's the car feeling, Jordan?
Car feels okay there. I think I underdrove it a lot, and that's reflected in the time. So I think there's a lot more speed in it. Hopefully it can survive the start of the race. Obviously way off of the pack that's kind of formed there. 7/10 off of Gale Force. Those guys are on top of each other. So should be fun. Should be interesting start. I mean, this will be Ratley Bacon and Josh's first start with us, and you'll kind of wonder what the aggression level is going to be there. And then we had Dion kind of crash out there, but he usually likes to start in those rear rows at the start of these races and kind of watch everything unfold. So we'll see what happens, see how it begins. We're going to be right in the thick of it, though.
Oh, yeah. I think the first lap is going to be kind of intense. Everyone's just going to try to hold on to it and hopefully keep their car clean. And I think after that, it'll start to spread out a little bit. But I think that first lap will definitely be a bit chaotic. Robert Nutt goes in the 139s. Does not beat Kerr, but it is extremely close with a 139.729. That's going to put Jacob down to third, and we have 2 drivers in the 40s and then several drivers out in the 41s. Riley Bacon going to be in the 43s. Josh going to be in the 48s so far.
Yeah, Ferrari apparently has put a few laps of fuel in, so not a fully trimmed out qualifying run, as I think he's kind of turned qualifying here into somewhat of a qualifying session, as we have run out of time, and we'll see how everyone's laps goes.
Jay Seal's time is going to stick with a 140.3. He moves up to third on the board, is able to improve that just a bit. Scarface, he's going to stick with the 141.1. J-Mac Attack, 141.9. Riley Bacon going to stick with a 143.8. And Josh, he's going to stick with that 148.3. Dion will start at the rear of the field. We still have several drivers that can get a different lap time. We'll see what they can do. You see Kerr going around the castle portion. Ferrari Nutt, he is making his way out of that portion. Let's see what he can put down.
Yeah, Ferrari working his way down the front straight here. We'll see what he's able to do. If he's able to put a time on Kerr, he's going to have about 3 lap old tires, and they are pretty hard laps he's running up. He's going to put it to pit road, so I don't think he liked it. I did see him slide the tires a little bit, but we'll see if Jacob, Justin, Kerr, any are able to put down a time they like. Nope. We had one come to pit road.
Justin in the yellow. All right, Kerr's going to grab the pole.
By a lot.
Man, 138.9. Yeah, a couple of guys switching positions there. So Kerr going to be on pole. Ferrari Nutt second. Justin is going to be third. MJ Seals fourth. Jacob 99 is going to be 5. Gale Force in 6. Scarface 7th. J-Mac Attack 8th. Ratley Bacon for his debut going to be 9th. And Josh is going to be 10th out there. Jarrett Ray says Josh's debut. One of the many brothers. We're missing you out here, Jarrett. You should be out here. You can see him right here, Kerr. Man, have not seen him since the beginning of the season, and he comes out in style, sitting on pole. Dion Ford dub after getting kicked out from the session. Gonna round out the field in 11th. All right, Jordan, who's winning tonight?
Well, looks like we're going to have a nice fight between Jacob and Ferrari. Ferrari definitely not as warm as Kerr was for that qualifying session. And Ferrari didn't have full speed for it because, like I said, I think he had a couple of laps more fuel in there. It wasn't a fully trimmed out Q run. It was more of a short, sprinty practice run. But we'll see. I think those two could put on a really good fight. And I don't know. Now it's time to decide what we want to do for a strategy here.
Are we going to see a one stop tonight or a two stopper, you think?
It looks like it's the usual one starper with the hard and medium in whatever order you would like to do it in.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely been a continuous theme throughout the season. Jared says, I may have to do a one-off at Coda. Coda is always a favorite one for a lot of these drivers, so I would love to see you out here for sure. Dime, what's up? He has given us a follow. Thank you so much. He says, can I join? We only have 2 races left. Maybe probably for next season, I'll have to see. It depends on how long you've run out there, and if you know anyone in the league, we'll have to see what goes on. But if you want, you can send me a message. I'll see what I can do for you. All right. If you guys have any guesses, let me know on who do you think is going to win. Hardwell Motorsports in the house. I know, I'm telling you, they're taking over. It's awesome. Big Tech says, I'm here for it. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for the follow, for chatting, and for supporting the drivers. I know the Cardwells are excited to come out here and race, and man, it's going to be a wild one. To have your debut race here at Baku, this is absolutely insane. They are very brave. I don't know that I could do it.
I think we need a broadcast with you on the track. I think that's
no, I don't think we do.
I think we do. Let's swap spots. You can be the in-race reporter, and I'll sit up in the tower. And
oh shoot, you have me talk at the same time. It's over within the first corner.
It'd be awesome. It'd be great. It'd be the greatest corner ever in Czech and
Oh
Make
my
history.
gosh. Big Tech says, Dad here. I love it. I love it. That's amazing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in for everybody and supporting them. I know they're going to love it. Sober David says, over under on 1.5 safety cars. I'm going to say 1 safety car.
I'll say, yeah, if it's 1.5, I'll say the under.
Yeah.
But, we could, I mean, 2 is definitely not out of or I do think we do see 1 though. I think
I do.
1 is going to be right on the number. Oh, I almost crashed right there.
Well, we don't need it yet, Jordan.
I'm sorry. I've got lead foot. I can't help it.
It's too early for that. You know, like I said, I think if we get past turn 1, lap 1, that's going to be the biggest issue. I mean, think about it. We're fitting 11 cars through here at full speed, trying to gain positions, everything that they can. It's just going to be extremely difficult to do. Some of these portions, there's just no way that you can fit more than 1 car. It's just something that we're going to have to keep our eye on. And you know I'm going to sigh going through that portion of the castle turn. You're going to get tired of hearing me talk about it. But I'm just fascinated that you can even get there single car. Grandpa here. Hey, I think it's amazing. I love it. Her making his way up to grid along with the other drivers. I didn't even catch how many laps we're going to have here tonight. I think it's 26 from what I heard earlier on.
Yeah, 26 is it.
That's a long race. It's a lot of laps to try to keep this thing under control, I'll tell you. All right, 26 laps here for round 15, I do believe. A lot of drivers missing their box, but here we go, waiting for the lights to go out here at Baku for 26 laps. Kerr gonna start us off on pole, and we are off. Watch these guys go down the straight into the first corner. Kerr with a nice lead, and we're gonna go 2 wide throughout the field, but they are off and running. So far, everyone is safe and sound. Ferrari Nut sits third currently. A long train. Let's go throughout the field and see what's going on in the rear part of it.
Oops.
J-Mac attack. I don't know that he meant to do that, but just happened to go on board.
Just a little deep.
Easy to do, I'm telling you. Josh making his way around. You can see the dust going behind these cars from all of the braking. This is one of these tracks where slow and steady is going to win the race. You have to make sure you are consistent. Very difficult to make your way around here and try to get your braking zones. Here is the most difficult part. In my opinion, you can see Josh making his way around here. Again, huge props for these guys making their debut out here at Baku. What a challenging track. Ferrari Nut with a hit to the wall coming out of that exit right there. Bonus mom here. That's amazing. I love it. Super David says, don't put a stroll here. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's take a look. Our leader currently coming down the straightaway. This is where we're going to see a lot of passes being made. And then we're going to have a hard left-hander coming up here. Maddie, what's up? How are you? Kerr coming up with the fastest lap, 146.7 DRS. It's now enabled. Take a look behind. That's going to be MJ Seals having a fantastic run so far. He starts off strong, and I always talk about how I want to see him finish strong. Need to get it there. It's going to happen. There's MJ Seals right there. Ferrari Nut directly behind them. These guys just a long train. Nose to tail all the way through. A one-stopper going from hard to mediums or vice versa. That could change if we do see a safety car, but here we are, a lap 2 of 26. Ferrari Nut sitting third, Leaf Justin sitting P4. Gale Force, we've seen a strong showing from him this season, and it's been his first season with us. Currently sits P5, Jacob X99 sitting 6th currently. Scarface in 7th. Dion 4Dub 8th, Rattly Bacon 9th, J-Mac Attack 10th, and Josh 10-14 is going to be 11th.
Yeah, almost got the side-by-side to the castle we were wanting there. Josh had an issue, and I got to him, and I thought he was going to keep his nose in there.
Hard hit for Josh on that outside wall. We're going to have to see if he has any damage from that hit right there. See if we can take a peek at that wing. He is missing the front right portion of that wing. Kerr's going to get the fastest lap at a 142.9. We'll have to see how Josh can handle this. It's going to affect his steering for sure. We'll see if he's going to have to go in and get that repaired. Kerr has got a 1 second gap over our second place, MJ Seals, and I cannot tell you enough how impressed I am with MJ currently. He does have Ferrari Nut directly on the heels of that car right there. Waiting to see when he can make a move. You have to be patient in this circumstance. Definitely do not want to push it. There's too many spots where it could just be catastrophic. Hard right-hander right here. Those curbs seem to be getting these drivers' car a little upset, but man, take a look at that portion. MJ getting a little fishtail coming off of that corner. Ferrari Nut just continuingly to be on that back bumper. Take a look at that beautiful scenery. These drivers making their way through. Ferrari Nut took a peek on the outside, decided to stay behind, but we're coming up to the portion where it is a long stretch, and he will be able to make that move. We also have DRS on. Take a look. Here we go. Ferrari Nut going to the inside, making his way around the corner onto the front stretch. Side by side, he's going to get that nose out before we hit that first corner. Coming up to lap 4 of 26. Makes that pass. MJ Seals gonna move to third, and Josh, virtual safety card. Something happened with Josh, and this is where I wish we had a replay. Huge props to Josh for making his debut out here. Just, he lasted a lot longer than I would have. Hate to see it for him, though. Her, after that battle, about 2-second lead over Ferrari Nut, but here we go. Josh didn't pit. I know, Maddie. I would love to see replays. I say it every season to fix the wing. Yeah. Yeah, I knew it had to affect that steering, and man, with how tight this track is, you just have to be able to steer. It's just so hard, even with a perfect car. Phone keyboard. You know, I hear you. All right, back to racing for these drivers. Kerr with a 2-second lead over Ferrari Nut. Reminder, he has not been here in a while, and we have a virtual safety car once again. Dion Ford Dub has pulled over to the side, had contact, missing the entire front wing. Not sure exactly what happened.
Yeah, that happened going into the castle, because I almost obliterated him when that happened.
Yeah, I heard the sound effects, so I figured I need to look back by you. Yeah, Dion having a really hard time trying to steer this machine. He's got a long way to go before he can hit pit lane. Take a look at that. Bradley Bacon out here in 10th, making his way around the castle portion, and we do have a pass right here. A couple of drivers, in fact, 5 of them on pit lane. MJ Seals, Justin, Gale Force, Jacob, Scarface, all on pit lane. Back to green once again. Caution for Dion as he's trying to make his way. All right, he's going to be able to RB double box. Okay, makes sense, David. Newer wing for Dion Ford Dub. That thing will once again be able to steer, which is a very good thing. Lap 5 of 26. Riley Bacon going to move up to 9th. Jacob X99, we saw him up through the field. He is now currently sitting P8. Scarface is going to be 7th, and he's got Jacob right on his heels. J Mac Attack gaining some nice position, sitting P6 currently. He's got Gale Force 2 seconds ahead of him. You can see him here as these drivers are going through that rounded portion.
Yeah, I'm curious if these guys are going to try to stay out on these tires the rest of the way, because that's really the only benefit to pitting I think I saw there. I'm not sure, but we'll see.
We will find out. Jarrett Ray says, tough to see. Still got 2 of us left. I'm telling you, Jarrett, we need you out there. I'm impressed with Kerr. It's been a long time since I've seen him out on track, but man, he is having a phenomenal run. See how the gap goes with him and Ferrari Nut. Ferrari not around that corner as well as Kerr, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time. You can see his tire almost hit that wall coming out of that exit, and it's just going to be so incredibly tight. Lap after lap. Oh, yeah. You know, if the virtual safety cars count towards that, we're already over.
Yeah, that's the curious thing. That when we said safety cars, do we mean ones that stop down the whole race, or?
In my head, I was just thinking the actual safety cars. I'm gonna go with that. Take a look at Gale Force. Making his way through that portion. Leave Justin up ahead about 2 seconds. Behind him is going to be Jacob X99. And he does have Scarface. These two battle race after race. It's so fun to watch. You can see on board here just under a second behind. Scarface is brand new to F1. His first season with us out here, and he's just done a phenomenal job for being a rookie, so super proud of these guys. J-Mac Tech making his way through that corner. Out, gonna be heading onto the front stretch here. Maddie says, I think they should with the virtual safety cars. Yeah, then we're way out of number already.
I think they should count as a half.
There you go. That should be the half.
That's the compromise.
How many have we had already? 2, 3. Oh, who was that?
Virtual.
I think Rally Bacon is the one that just hit that. Yeah, another driver without a front wing. Hopefully he's able to make it back onto pit lane to get that repaired. That car is not going to be steering. Man, I don't know how he's keeping it off that wall. That is impressive. I know it is only lap 7. I'm telling you, this track is absolutely treacherous. Here he goes. And he's got to make it around these corners. He does so just fine. Gonna fix that wing. Dion for Dub gonna pass him up. 4P9. Her still leading the field by 2 seconds, staying very consistent, which is exactly what you need to do here.
Oh boy.
I think Jordan is have interesting.
Sorry. Sometimes I forget that I am mic'd up. But yes, I did almost die.
I think we're gonna have that a lot with these drivers tonight. I would have died already, lap 1.
We've already had it with me tonight.
MJ Seals, take a look at this gap. Her and Ferrari now all within 2 seconds. MJ Seals 22 seconds behind. Take a look on your map on the bottom right. That green and blue dot that is going through that left-hander, getting ready to go in the castle portion. You have all that space, and then you have the car in blue. The blue arrow is going to be MJ Seals. That is the gap that is between these drivers. MJ just, again, having a phenomenal race. Doing a great job out there, and it is a very technical, difficult track. And again, consistency is going to be absolute key here. Caution in Sector 2. Let's find out who that's going to be. Rattly Bacon, I do believe. Have to keep our eye out on the wing. Make sure that is fully intact. And it looks like he is good to go. So steering should be okay. Her still keeping it consistent along with Ferrari Nut. 1.8 interval right there. Leave Justin in 4th. Gale Force going to be in 5th. Jacob in 6th. 1.3 behind is going to be Scarface in 7th. J-Mac Attack about 4.5 seconds behind, sitting P8. Dion for Dub 9th. And Rattly Bacon, he's going to be in 10th. Talked about it earlier, saying this track doesn't look that bad. We see a lot of straights and whatnot, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot to this track, and it can be absolutely difficult.
Well, every turn takes a lot of commitment because
yes,
there's a lot of long straights, so you need speed to get down them, and so you want to set up, and you want to make really good lap times in the corners. But the problem is the corners are, either 90 degrees or tighter. And they have walls very close on both sides of them, so it's just really, really hard to get right if you want to make really good lap time.
Most of these drivers are on the hard tire compound. Our top 2 drivers on 8-lap-old tires, and then Dion and Riley Bacon both have had to go in. Dion on 3-lap-old tires, medium tire compound, and Riley Bacon, he just had to go in. He's got 1-lap-old tire, so he should be relatively good to go for a while. We'll see if MJ can close that gap a little bit with fresher tires, but I don't know how much he's going to be able to do so. He's 22 seconds behind currently. Biggest mover of the night is going to be Dion 4Dub, up 2 spots. MJ Seals up 1. Gale Force up 1. And we have about 4 drivers who have kept exactly where they started. Ferrari not starting to close that gap. He's gained 4 tenths over Kerr up here. In the past, we have seen mistakes by both drivers at the start of the race. Neither of these guys have made a mistake, though, tonight that I have seen. So they are making a fantastic run, but Kerr is definitely being caught. Another 10th right there. Man, just so impressive with how these guys are just not hitting that wall coming around these corners. I think that tire wear is really starting to hit Kerr, though. Ferrari not quickly gaining on him now.
Yeah, don't really know what kind of settings Kerr runs. Tire wear, from what I've heard, I've heard Ferrari and some of the other guys talk about, tire wear can be largely attributed to your settings as well as the setup and driving style and all that. But like, you can make better tire wear with, no traction control, no ABS, none of the assists. And yeah, I think that might be an advantage for Ferrari Nut if Kerr is running limited of either of those 2 settings.
The RS zone right here. Ferrari not going to put down the fastest time as he has gained a ton on Kerr with that DRS and has put down that fastest time. He is now just over a half a second behind Kerr, and man, did not get around that corner as well as Kerr, so he's going to lose a few tenths just on that corner alone. MJ Seals, he was 22 seconds behind. He is now 26 seconds behind. Leave Justin right on his heels. We could see a pass for P3. Take a look at how these guys are all over that wheel right there. Trying to make corrections coming off the corner, trying not to lose it as they hit those curbs. You have to be gentle on the throttle, especially since we do not have full traction control on. An impressive run by Justin tonight also. P4th, and he is trying to stay on the heels of MJ. Gale Force about 2.9 behind. Leave Justin. Just has to focus on that line, but not too far behind is going to be Jacob X99, 1.8 behind. He just closed another 10th. Take a look at how they push those boundaries just right up to the wall. It is so important to try to use what you can on that track to keep the momentum, keep the speed to gain your way onto the next corner. You have to be able to have that straightaway speed when you're coming off these exits. That's where you're gonna gain it at. And you can also lose a lot doing that if you don't do it correctly. Lap 12 of 26, and Justin and MJ having a nice battle out here. Justin gonna take over that 3rd spot over MJ Seals. I know, David. I don't know how you guys do it. He says the skill nerf to see so much car wiggling and not spin it. we got some wheelmen out there, I'll tell you. Ferrari not closing that gap once again. I think he is a little better through that castle portion and almost loses it as soon as I say that, and loses a couple of tenths once again right there. That's going to help out Kerr. We were just talking about...
The car can be a little on edge through there. It's very, very high speed. Very, very easy to get it wrong and lose one end of the car or the other.
This is where he gains everything on Kerr with that DRS. He's within that zone and comes right up to his back bumper. He knows he cannot make that pass right there. It's just going to be too risky. He's going to stay behind and try to focus on a different spot to try to make that pass. But man, the pressure is on for Kerr.
I think if it's about 10 laps later in the race, he tries that and sees what happens.
Yeah. I agree. I think if it was later in the race, he would risk it, but right now is just not the time to possibly take one or both of you out. We're going to see already back up to 0.7 gap over the two. Ferrari Nut almost hits the wall. You can see from the behind view of Kerr's car. Really sends it in there. A lot of smoke going on behind him. We do have a caution. I think that is going to be from possibly Dion. I saw him fall back a little bit. Everyone seems to be just fine so far from that. A lot of separation with these drivers. Kerr kind of jumping that curb almost into the wall. This is just blowing my mind. I don't know how these drivers are doing it. The battle for this lead is heating up lap after lap. Right on his tail again, and it's those front stretch parts that are catching Ferrari not up. And one of these times he's going to be close enough to try to make a pass. He's going to take it too wide. He is going to get the nose out into the corner. New leader Ferrari Nut Kerr going to be P2. Now the question is, when is Kerr going to try to take that position back? 2 DRS zones. This is going to be the second of those.
Might be an issue of when they pit, not pit a lap earlier than he'd want to try to maybe get the undercut. Maybe a lap later if he wants to go for the over. I believe the under would probably be a little more effective. So we'll see what happens. But you might want to just get it on the racetrack too.
We're going to find out. Most of these drivers have made a stop. Ferrari Nut Kerr and Jordan, J Mac Attack, they have not made a stop yet.
I am just that slow. Although I did go and visit an alleyway earlier, so that did happen.
You did. You were taking a nice little detour.
Hey, I was just checking out the sights.
Nothing wrong with that. MJ Seals sitting P3, and take a look at the gaggle of cars directly behind him. 28 seconds behind P2 of Kerr. Right behind him is going to be Leaf Justin. These two have switched positions a couple of times. Then you're going to have Gale Force, who's just a second behind, with Jacob X99 just over half a second behind. And we do have a caution in that castle portion. Let's take a look. Dion 4Dub, I'm not sure if he is involved in that, but man, oh man. 15 of 26. I don't know how these guys are going to do it. David says Kerr might need to pit now. Jordan was just talking about, taking the undercut, trying to see what he can do. That way he did not pit though, so we'll see if he does this time around. Staying pretty consistent gap-wise. 4th through 7th is a huge battle though. Another pass. Leave Justin over MJ. These guys. Oh! A huge glitch on MJ, and then he disappears. Oh man, I think that's going to set him back a few spots. And after the incredible run he has had tonight, that is so frustrating. Leave Justin third, Gale Force fourth. MJ Seals, who got kicked out of the session, going side by side with Jacob. Jacob gonna be able to take that fifth spot and make his way around. Poor MJ has lost 3 spots just on that alone. Man, I hate to see it. That's another EA thing. Drivers lagging out quite a bit. All right, question is Kerr gonna go in? Ferrari not. He makes his way in. Kerr's gonna follow. Both are leaders on pit lane. We'll see what they take here. Let's bring up those tires. Probably gonna head over to the mediums. Yeah.
The pit window's basically over for everyone that started on the hard tires.
Making their way on out. Kerr. That was interesting. A lot of wiggling going on right there. EA servers strike again. Absolutely. Kerr comes out 3.3 behind Ferrari Nut. Not sure exactly what happened for him on to pit lane, but man, not a good time for him. Gale Force going to be up to P3, 12 seconds behind. Leaf Justin, take a look at these 3 drivers. Gale Force, Justin, Jacob. These 2 teammates on top of each other. I do believe that it was possibly Justin that smacked the wall hard, loses part of his wing. That is going to require some Gale Force out now. What is going on with these servers? I wonder if I need to invite them. Let me see if I need to invite them. You guys don't see anything, nothing to see here. All right, hopefully that... I feel bad if that's the only way they can get in here is by me inviting him back. Yeah, I think, you know, he was not able to get in without an invite. And that had to come from me. MJ Seals has fallen to 8th after being in 3rd from that. McLaren's definitely touched. There was a lot of touching going on. In fact, I don't know if there was some glitching, but the front of one's car was in the back of the other, and I do believe Justin lost a wing as he makes his way on the pit lane. Almost hits the wall hard, but survives it. Jacob moves up to 3rd. Hopefully no damage for him.
Too much.
I do think I see the right front wing on Jacob's car missing that portion. We're going to see if he goes in. Yeah, I agree, David. There was contact between the McLarens pushing Justin into the wall. Scarface up to 4th. J-Mac Attack in 5th. Did you guys see Gale Force get back in? Let me know. Otherwise, I'll send him another invite.
I have not seen him yet.
All right, I'll send another invite. Come on, EA. Gale Force 6, MJ back up to 7th. Justin, after having to repair that front wing, he is sitting P8th. Bradley Bacon 9th, and we do have a caution in Sector 2. Driver still moving. We should be all right. Bradley Bacon 9th, Dion 10th, and man, this race is very exciting. Kerr with the fastest lap, 141.3.4 behind Ferrari Nut. Battle brewing up once again for the lead here. Kerr in the purple. MJ is back in, yes. I feel terrible though. I hadn't realized that he was unable to get in. I think the only way he was is from my invite. But he was sitting third before that happened. Third or fourth. How about this battle? J-Mac attack. Jacob switching positions. J-Mac goes up to fourth. MJ Seals up to fifth. Gale Force in sixth. And Jacob loses a couple of spots as he is coming out from pit lane here. Take a look at the stops here. A couple of drivers with one stop. That's going to be your top three drivers. J-Mac still has yet to go in. Rest of their drivers,
so
two
we're
stops.
some great tire wear.
Hey, whatever works for you. All right, Kerr, take a look. This is the battle for the lead here. Coming out onto the straight once again, and we do have another caution, sector 2. Treacherous spot, absolutely. No pass going to be made here. Heading into the first corner. Scarface sitting P3, 26 seconds behind, doing a phenomenal job in this race. So much has gone on in this race. Absolutely insane. J-Mac Attack sitting fourth, 11 seconds behind. MJ Seals, 4 seconds behind, sitting P5. Gale Force in 6, so our teammates have moved up through the field once again. But man, you hate to see it when you lose connection with the servers. Cost you so much time, and MJ definitely got caught in that. This is going to be a race of what could have been for him. Jacob X99. Got a little battle brewing up here. Right behind Gale Force. This is going to be for P6 as they're entering this corner. He tries to see if he can take it down low. Decides to back out of it. Jacob has his teammate, Leave Justin, about 2.5 seconds behind. Jacob taking a peek on the outside, taking a peek on the inside. Trying to do a crossover, unable to complete it, but man, oh man, he is getting anxious, wanting these spots. Take a look how close they get. I don't know how they don't hit it. I don't get it. Look at that battle. Jacob looking everywhere to see where he can make a pass, make up some time. Meanwhile, he's got his teammate, Leave Justin, coming up right behind him. Very, very close. And we also have a battle for the lead brewing up here. See how these two are going about it. Lap 20 of 26. Heading through the castle portion once again. Gotta get into that rhythm. Gotta have that consistency. And when you can, use that DRS to make every available position that you can. Leave Justin, battle between him and Gale Force. Justin gonna take over that 6th spot, and we have teammates going at it for that spot from Gale Force. Gale Force just under attacked. It's gonna move Gale Force to P8, Justin to 6, Jacob into 7. Meanwhile, Kerr is able to make the pass over Ferrari Nuts, so he takes over that first spot and goes in the purple while doing so. Lap 21 of 26. This race is quickly coming to a close. All right, I gotta say, I'm impressed with J-Mac out here.
Hey, crew chief just told me the tires still look good, so
Really?
You know, go a little
19
ways and
laps.
put on some softs. I mean, it's not like I've been driving with a whole lot of pace, but hey, you know.
The only driver to not make a pit stop just yet. Do you plan on it?
If I got a freaking safety car right now, that'd be awesome.
Gale Force, no. He says his internet died, can't get it to come back.
I was wondering why we were watching him get smaller on the thing, and that makes sense.
Yeah. Dion retired, virtual safety car once again. Oh.
Let's go.
Well, there you have it.
Boys.
It's done it 3 days in a row. Oh man, I'm heartbroken for you and MJ. That is awful. You guys were having such a phenomenal run. Even reset it before the race. Yeah, that's usually what I do and it works, but I wonder if something is going on. Gail, I can send you an invite if you want to come in here and chat with me. We'll chat it up. You can talk with us out here in the booth. Her on pit lane. All right, Ferrari Nut pit lane also. I know, Jarrett, he said he's gonna miss Atlanta. He was already gonna miss that. I'm sad. Scarface having a great race though. P3 currently, J-Mac Attack P4.
Oh god.
MJ Seals up to 5th after he lost connection and making a great comeback. Man. Leave Justin 6th, Jacob 7th, Gale Force, who unfortunately cannot get in the car. He sits P8, Riley Bacon. He's going to be in 9th. Several drivers on pit lane. It's going to be MJ, J-Mac, and Jacob all on pit lane. Jarrett, but we've raced side by side the whole season. Still a virtual safety car. Riley Bacon still on pit lane. Kerr, Ferrari Nut lined up here. All right. We're going to have quite the run here to the finish.
So if you count the virtual safety cars as half, then we have we're at 2.
We're at 2.
We have the 1 safety car, and we have the 2 half safety cars.
It's a full safety car, yeah, David. I didn't realize that at first. You're going with the Cardwell family battles here. All right, I'm gonna send you an invite, Gail. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't, don't. Why does everyone show offline? What is this? Oh, they're killing me. I have too many people on here. Oh, he's probably not even on. Oh yeah, his internet doesn't work. That. Just ignore me. Nothing to see here. Yeah, you know, I'm a little slow. No worries, Gail. All right, what's your prediction, Jordan? What are we going to see at the finish here?
Probably some carnage, because
that's what I'm worried about.
I'm in a fun spot now, but I have not had a lot of pace, so I'm gonna have Jacob and MJ down my backside here. Meanwhile, there's gonna be a lot of guys trying some moves on the front stretch. You're trying to use the slipstream, the draft, whatever you want to call it, and try to make that move into turn 1. And I think there's I think there's going to be a lot of aggression here.
I think so. Justin and Gale are on the medium tires, although Gale is not actually in the race. The rest of the drivers in the top 7 are on soft tire compound. Then we have MJ on the hards and Radley Bacon on medium. So it's going to be interesting to see how you guys are going to be able to maneuver around medium tire compound. These guys are going to be pretty aggressive to hold on to that. So
yeah, Justin not pitting there, and then Gale forces AI not, and that's going to be an interesting car to get around. Is not going to be overly, it's like the only car on the racetrack now that's slower than me. So if you can get around it could be a nice little blockade.
Oh man, it kills me with the servers. I know the Gale's internet issue is not a thing with the servers, but for MJ and for a couple of the other drivers that get kicked out, I absolutely hate it. Her will be leading us back to green once we go. Yeah, that's an interesting choice. Again, this mid part of the field is going to be something that we're going to have to keep our eye out on. It's already difficult racing the track, but when you have to race the track and the cars around you on different strategies, different tire, different everything, it's going to make for an interesting final few laps. His was a full game crash. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. Kerr. We haven't seen him since the start of this season. Here he is, leading us back to green. Is he going to be able to hold Ferrari Nut off and get a win?
It's going to be a green-white checker here, it looks like. If we go green, which I think we will, that's going to be very interesting.
I agree, yeah. No win for Kerr this season yet. So if he does hold Ferrari Nut off and gets this win, it will be his only win of the season. I think he raced in maybe one and a half other races, maybe.
Oh, God. Oh.
Are you okay out there?
Hey, I'm watching the McLaren in my rear view just all over my rear wing. Like,
keep those tires warm.
I guess. The goofy mirror makes him look a lot closer than I think he really is, because the indicator isn't red. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Gale Force says, I might have internet. I'll try and get back. I'll send you an invite just in case here. If it would let me. Don't see him on yet. I'll give it another second or so. Lap 24 of 26. Do you think they'll go back this time?
I think so, I believe.
Yeah, I would think they would.
I would think they would. Otherwise, we're going to have a one-lap sprint to the end.
I think that is
kind of
crazy.
Yep, here we go.
Woo. Here we go on out. Kerr going to be leading us. Oh, Gale has left the session. Did we leave the session?
Golly.
This is a wild race, I'm telling you. He's in, he's out. He's in, he's out. Go both Jacobs Polish. Where are you? Telling you, this has been a wild, wild race. They're leading us right there. Ferrari Nut 0.7 behind. We do have some passing going on. Jacob over Gale Force as he is not in the session. These guys just trying to get around Gale Force. He falls to 8th. Jacob up into 6th. MJ 7th. Radley Bacon gonna be 9th. J-Mac Attack, he's out there in 5th. He's got Leaf Justin directly in front of him. Scarface looking at a podium tonight. We're on lap 25 of 26. Getting ready to head to our final lap of the night here. Kerr has to absolutely nail these corners. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, that was a scary sight right there. Can he hold him off? He's got Ferrari not just under a second behind. Caution sector 2. That looks like it's going to be Rattly Bacon. Trying to make his way around. Still moving. Very consistent gap. Not changing too much. Staying within 0.8 of each other. Here we come. Getting ready to go to our final lap here. Who's it gonna be? Kerr 141.1, fastest lap of the race right here, gains a 10th over P2, which is going to be Ferrari Nut. Can he hold on to it? David wanting ice cream out there. That gap quickly closing, and this is where it's going to be tricky as we come after the castle portion up on the backstretch. I don't know how he's going to do it, but man, Ferrari Nut just putting so much into the brakes here. That gap increasing. Let's take a look. Our next closest battle is going to be Jacob and J-Mac Attack. Ailes, how are you? Hope you're doing well. These two drivers. Oh, very, very close. Close moment for J-Mac as he's into the wall. Jacob trying to stay off of him. Probably not, still 0.8 behind, now 0.7. This is where this could change. He could give away this race here on that front stretch. Here we go, coming up onto the front stretch. Who's it gonna be? Ferrari Nut behind him. I don't think he's gonna be able to do anything with it. Kurg is going to take the win here at Baku. Huge congratulations. He comes back, wins the race. Ferrari Nut P2, Scarface gonna grab the podium here. Justin 4th, Jacob 5th, J-Mac Attack 6th, MJ Seal 7th, Gale Force with internet issues 8th. Rattly Bacon making his way around. He's gonna come out P9. What a race, man.
Oh, poor Jacob being stuck behind me.
McLaren's finishing right next to each other. Then we have MJ and Gale Force for RB right next to each other with issues with their game or internet. Oh, man, just crazy. All right, let's try to get these drivers in here. Why did they do this to me? All right, let's try to get him in here. I see Ferrari Nut. Can you invite Kerr for me?
I will do what I can.
I appreciate you. A new winner here for this season. First time is going to be Kerr. One of the only races he was able to attend. We'll wait for him to get in the party. Ferrari Nut has arrived.
Can't find the guy. Oh, there he is.
Oh, he just made it in. All right. Rangers, how about that win? Man, what a crazy race. You come back to join us for another race, and it happens to be Baku. So you came back here tonight. How much do you like this track?
It's a fun track. I've definitely had success in the past. It's always fun racing against Ferrari. It always makes you focus a little bit more than most people. I think if he had a little bit more practice, he probably would beat me. But we'll take the W.
Absolutely insane. And I know, how many races did you race with us earlier in the season? It was one, maybe
Yeah,
two?
just the one.
What, just a one? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we haven't gotten to see you out here. You come back and you get this win. How much time were you able to put into this track before coming out? Because I'll tell you what, it just blows my mind how consistent you were tonight, especially with not having a lot of track time throughout the season.
I did a few time trials the last few days. And then I had a full hour of practice before, so
Nice.
definitely like super practiced up, but definitely more than Ferrari coming in real quick. So, but my car was it was real snappy. To be honest with you, it was a little bit of struggle there on the hards, but it felt a lot better on the mediums. So I was able to run him back down. I don't know if he was struggling or if he was just taking it easy, but that definitely helped.
Final lap, what was going through your head? Were you concerned that he was going to be able to pass you for the win, or were you pretty confident that you could grab it?
He definitely was a little slippier than me in a straight line, so I was a little concerned. I had a full battery going down that last stretch. So I figured if I could at least be 8 or 9 tenths ahead of him, I probably should be fine. But he was definitely trimmed out a little more than I was.
All right. Well, in 2 weeks, are we going to see you in Austin?
Definitely. Yes, I will be there.
Ooh, all right. Nice. I like to hear it. So, man, huge congratulations. I love that you came back and visit us tonight, and that you'll be back in 2 weeks, but huge congratulations on the win. And I'll tell you what, the consistency was insane, and it was just fun to see you back out there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Jordan, I know you were on track, but do you want to give an interview to Mr. Ferrari Nut?
Yeah, I haven't even had a chance to take the cool suit off and Frozen sticking a mic in my hand, but we're here with Ferrari Nut 94 coming home in P2. Had a spirited race with Jacob Kerr the entire night, and then got yourself a safety car there at the end. Did the safety car help you, hurt you? Did it change anything about that final battle? And 'cause it seemed like y'all were on top of each other the whole race, so that aspect of it didn't really change. But just talk about the race, talk about the battle with Jacob, and how that. What were you expecting out of the final restart there?
I knew it was going to be a crapshoot on that final restart. Just 2 laps is just it's such a just bad place to have that type of restart. If it was a 3-lapper, probably would have happened, because as he mentioned, I was a little bit more trimmed out than he was. I'm not sure exactly what wings he was running, but definitely had a little more straight line speed in the old green machine here. But yeah, just came up a little short. The DRS zone, I feel like, is a little short on that front straightaway to be actually useful a lot of times here, unless you just have a serious straight line speed advantage. The back straight is more usable as far as gaining time. But yeah, I knew coming off that coming into that final lap, he was probably a little too far away to really gain enough and keep enough battery in it. So just figured he was going to have a full battery, save as much as he could, and he did. And just typical run to the line. It is what it is. But yeah, good fun race. I don't particularly like this place. It's just a lot of boring, uninteresting corners to me that don't really challenge me that much. It's 90-degree angles. So I just don't like. I just don't like coming here. Never have.
Well,
it's always a struggle.
That answers what my next question was going to be, because we heard drivers talk about the challenge, but a lot of them have also said that they kind of like the place, and I was going to ask your opinion on it, but we just got it that you're not a big fan of it. We're going to Dakota next week, or 2 weeks from now. What's your opinion on that place?
Another track I'm not greatly fond of. It's grown on me over the years. Still not great, in my opinion. It's another cookie cutter Tilka track with way too much runoff and no punishment for mistakes.
is your home track, so you'll be looking to defend your home turf when we go there in a couple of weeks and get back in the victory circle. Still a solid P2 finish out of Ferrari Nut, and we'll get back over to you, Frozen.
All right, we got Scarface on the podium here. We've seen him in the booth a couple of times. Scarface, did you ever think you're going to be getting a podium on your first season? And it's going to be at Baku?
At least not on speed. I was just riding around in seventh, and I think I was the only one that didn't have any bad luck. So, yeah, I was 5 seconds behind Jacob and Gale. And all of a sudden, people started disconnecting, and I think Jacob and Justin got into each other, and all of a sudden, I'm in third place. So I was kind of lost on that one, but obviously on speed, yeah, I shouldn't be here, but I guess that's what happened.
Last safety car came out. What was your strategy going through the final part of the race and trying to stay there and get that position?
I didn't want to see the safety car. I felt came out in the right time where I pitted, got the softs. Justin, I guess he stayed out or he was still on the old mediums. And the Gale Force was an AI car, so felt comfortable. I was just more concerned about not running into the back of Ferrari or Kerr. But I was surprised I held off Jacob or Justin still, so I'm happy with it.
How difficult is it to make a pass here, especially when you're starting off all grouped up together? How do you strategically go about trying to make those passes?
Yeah, that's probably one of my weakest points still, is especially with the start of the race. I'm way too conservative, worrying not running to the back of somebody, not braking too late. So usually I'm just way too conservative. Um, Especially in sector 3, I could not get through that at all. So that's where I was losing the most time. But yeah, it's just way too conservative. Still trying to get some confidence, running around everybody, trying to make passes. So that's what I'm still struggling with.
Well, I think you did a great job, and I think you've had a great season overall, especially coming out here for the first time. And it takes a lot to get used to everyone's driving style and getting used to the tracks. Taking us to
Yeah,
2 weeks from now, how do you feel about Coda?
I ran a few laps there. Uh, not That's one I'm not familiar with, but from the laps I did run, I feel okay. But turn one seems to be an issue. Uh, yeah, I'll put some extra time in and see what happens.
All right. Well, great job on the podium today. If you can get a podium here, I think you'll be just fine at Coda.
Yeah, on speed, that's still have a lot of work to do because I shouldn't be here based on speed, but I'll take it.
Well, good job out there. Rangers, great job on the win. You guys did amazing. Next week we are off. It's going to be a off week, so we'll see you in 2 weeks at Coda. But thank you guys so much. We had a lot of armies out here for the Cardwell brothers. Making their debut out here is absolutely insane. So huge props to them. But yeah, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys take it easy. Have a great week.